building it from the ground up. Then throughout the competition, you'll actually have to come here to Iowa State and participate in the competition. And after the network's all assembled, which you'll assemble remotely, and then here physically you'll be competing, we'll actually bring in professional hackers from the industry to actually try and break into your network throughout the whole night. So what you're going to be able to do is a few weeks before time, you're going to have remote setup to our labs to set up these devices. We're going to provide documentation and stuff like that to help you along and kind of show you how to set these things up. And then on the day of the event, you'll have to come to Iowa State and actually defend these networks against hackers. The cyber defense competition itself is that day. It lasts for 18 hours, so it lasts all throughout the night. So you'll be wired on caffeine and wired on all kinds of food and stuff throughout the whole night, trying to defend these networks against hackers.
I had the opportunity this past fall to participate in the cyber defense competition as a Blue Team participant. So I was with a group of 6 students that was able to set up a network. We set up things like email and a DNS server and a bunch of other services. And we had about 2 weeks to set this up. And then there's an 18-hour competition where we were actually defending our setup. So we had a while to prepare, and then there was the exciting actual competition where people were trying to break into it, and we were really trying to keep it safe and defend it. And then when they did get into our stuff, which of course happened, the professionals were a little bit better than us, we got to work to bring our services back online and to fix it and learn about what we had done wrong.
The red team in the cyber defense competition can be, I guess, affectionately called the hackers. They're the people trying to break into the systems the blue teams have set up. The red team usually consists of various individuals from the industry, so professional hackers, you can say, along with graduate students from here at Iowa State University. It's usually composed of about 10 to 15, upwards of maybe 20 people, depending on how many blue teams, how large the cyber defense competition is. And their job is to break in and make the life horrible for the blue teams throughout the night. Blue teams have 3 weeks to set up, they get ready, they get excited, they're pumped for defending it, and red team gets 18 hours to break in. So it's usually the methodology of red teams is they start out scanning their systems, looking for anything that blue team members might not have gotten a hold of. They come back together, expand all their ideas, and then get to work hitting the vulnerabilities. So during a cyber defense competition, just when blue teams are starting to feel safe and starting to get tired around, 1 or 2 in the morning, the red team just starts to pick up because they're past that preliminary stage. And so part of the red team's goal is to remain awake and alert and active through the entire night. So it also puts a lot of pressure on blue teams because they have to stay awake, active, and alert the entire night because the red team is going to push as hard as they can to break into any systems.
The green team simulates regular end users. What that means is they get to go ahead and test the environment, test the services, see if it's usable, and see if it's not too secure to actually hinder the user's ability to do what they would normally do. This also means that the green team is just a regular user, so they can go ahead and do what regular users do and download viruses, check their regular mail, do regular things.
And then what an anomaly is stuff that we throw at you that may happen throughout the night, like maybe a power outage, or maybe there'll be a surge of traffic to your website, or things like that. Things that just keep you on your toes, or maybe a user will request a certain service to be open, like they want to enable remote desktop or something like that, and your team will have to kind of come up with that in a certain timetable. And then we have a white team that deals with the scoring and the mechanisms behind all that to make sure everything remains fair and picks a winner for the competition and things like that.
A good experience for both sides. I've worked on the red team before and blue team, and from red team, I learned not also what works to get into systems, I also learned what doesn't work to defend. So it gives red team members a good idea of what defense to use and not to use on systems. And then we take that information that we learned throughout the night and present it back to the blue team members in the morning.
The red teams give the teams feedback on services that they were running and the holes that they were able to exploit, so that next time that they do this or set up their own network, they know what not to do. They also will give feedback in terms of what they did well that other teams may have not done well.
So it was very good for me to learn a lot about protecting a network, and it has helped me be more educated in my conversations and in my jobs since then.
So for high school students that are interested in participating in IASGA, the easiest way to find out more information about it is to go to the website at iasga.org.
then you can download the materials and fill them out. You just need to find an advisor, and then you send all that information to Iowa State, and that group will get you started, and they'll send you the DVDs and some of the other materials to start.
You get access to the electronic help desk, plus you get the opportunity to participate in a service learning project and the cyber defense competition.
And just really start to have fun with it.
So you've watched this video. Are you ready to join IASGA? If so, go to the website iasga.org and check out all of our materials. Or if you have questions, you can email Doug Jacobson at dougj@iastate.edu. If you join, you'll get materials, equipment. All you've got to do is put it together, start having fun, and start thinking like a hacker.
My interest in information assurance developed from a presentation I got as a freshman here at Iowa State. One of my professors gave us a little presentation on kind of how to hack and then set up a small server that we were supposed to try to break into. And none of us broke into it, but we all tried and played around with it and did a bunch of research and stuff like that.
I really got interested in security when I was on an internship recently, and someone I was working with taught me some basic penetration testing. He showed me a few basic techniques on breaking into the corporate network so that we could understand where the holes were and make it more secure, and I found that really interesting.
The defending side, you actually have to defend versus both, and you have to try and think ahead, and that's the challenging part that drew me originally.
I initially got interested in the field of information assurance and security probably when I was a sophomore undergrad computer engineer here at Iowa State. I had a peer mentor who worked with our professor Doug Jacobson here, who's in charge of the iSafe project, and he got me involved in different security types of events.